Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Tony, and today we'll explore together how to gillnet fish. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to press the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And now, let's get started. Marine fishing is very popular, not only in traditional fisheries with small boats using a limited number of hooks, but also in industrial activities with large vessels or fleets using thousands of hooks. Sustainable fishing ensures future freshwater and ocean wildlife populations. Aquatic environments are home to countless species of fish and invertebrates, most of which are consumed as food. Others are harvested for economic reasons, such as oysters that produce pearls used in jewelry. Seafood is prized around the world, in many diverse cultures, as a source of provides important protein and healthy fats. For thousands of years, people have fished to feed their families and local communities. A set gillnet employs floats and weights like we described, but is fastened to poles, making it stationary. The net is set out between the poles, forming a wall in the water for the fish to become trapped in. This kind of fishing, and gill netting in general, is very regulated. How and where they can deploy their nets, how close to shore, how deep in the water the net is set at, the mesh size, etc., are some of the many ways this fishery is managed. A different kind of gillnet is the drifting gillnet. Drift gillnets are not fastened to stakes or poles but are allowed to drift with the current. The ratio of floats on top and weights on the bottom control the depth the net stays at and keeps it vertical in the water. Demand for seafood and advances in technology have led to fishing practices that have reduced fish and shellfish populations around the world. Fishermen remove more than 77 billion kilograms, 170 billion pounds, of wildlife from the sea each year. Scientists fear that continued fishing at this rate could soon lead to the collapse of the world's fisheries. To continue relying on the ocean as a vital source of food, economists and conservationists say we will need to adopt sustainable fishing practices. This fish is one of the largest and fastest on Earth. It is known for its delicious meat, which is often enjoyed raw, like sushi. The demand for this particular fish has led to very high prices in the market and threatens its population. The number of bluefin tuna spawning today is estimated at 21 to 29% of the 1970 population. Since about that time, commercial fishermen have caught bluefin tuna using purse seines and long lines. Seine fishing uses a net to herd fish together and then enclose them by pulling on the drawstring of the net. Nets can catch many fish at once and are often used to catch fish that are in schools or those that breed together. Casting is a type of fishing in which a very long line, up to 100 kilometers, 62 miles, is cast and pulled behind a boat. These lines have thousands of hooks attached to smaller lines that extend downward. Both seines and trawls are effective fishing methods. These techniques can catch hundreds or thousands of fish at once. Catching too many fish at once can bring immediate benefits to fishermen. However, fishing this way consistently leaves very few fish species in the ocean. If a fish population is small, it cannot easily replenish itself through reproduction. Taking wildlife from the sea faster than the population can reproduce is called overfishing. Seine nets, long lines and many other types of fishing can also lead to many incidents of bycatch, the capture of unwanted species. For example, fishing lines used to catch bluefin tuna, Tunus thinus, can trap birds, sea turtles, and other fish such as swordfish, Xiphias gladius. Another fish that has been overfished is the Chilean sea bass, Disosticius eleginoides, sometimes called the Patagonian toothfish. In the 1990s, this fish became extremely popular in restaurants across the United States and other countries, causing demand to increase. This fish is native to the South Pacific and South Atlantic Oceans, often caught by line in international waters. Fishing in this area is regulated by international agreements, and is difficult to enforce. Illegal fishing, in this case, catching fish in quantities exceeding internationally established limits, became widespread. The number of fish caught and the average size of fish have decreased, leading to even higher prices and encouraging more illegal fishing. Chilean sea bass is a long-lived fish, up to 50 years, and grows slowly. Smaller sea bass may be younger and may not have spawned yet. As fishermen catch smaller sea bass, replenishing healthy populations becomes less likely. The kind of fish that predominate in an area depends in part on the bottom characteristics. Individual fish species have different modes of life. Some live close to the bottom. They are demersal. Other species swim in the open water column and are called pelagic. There are also species that live near the bottom, but rise into the water column to hunt for food. These are benthopelagic species. It is amazing that special biological communities have developed in the deep sea in spite of the darkness. Most of them have only been superficially investigated, and biologists are constantly discovering new species that have not yet been described. In recent years, researchers have been focusing on cold water corals in particular, as well as the ecosystems around seamounts and at deep-sea hydrothermal vents and cold seeps. The great biological diversity discovered here was completely unexpected because the deep sea had long been considered to be a dead and muddy desert. The species diversity in the deep sea was sensational for researchers. Overfishing also occurs in freshwater ecosystems. For example, the Caspian Sea is home to the beluga sturgeon husso, a large, slow-growing fish. Beluga sturgeon can grow up to 4.5 meters 15 feet tall and weigh 1,135 kilograms 2,500 pounds. They take about 20 years to mature, at which point the females ovulate called oocytes, although they only do so every 3 to 4 years. Beluga sturgeon are best known for their caviar, also known as caviar. In fact, Caspian sturgeon is the source of about 90% of the world's caviar. The fish moves slowly and becomes easy prey for fishermen. Once its eggs are harvested, the fish cannot maintain their population. Corals usually evoke a mental picture of idyllic South Sea islands, white palm beaches and swarms of colorful luminescent fish darting through clear waters suffused with light. Actually, however, some coral species also live in cold, deep water layers. They occur primarily in the Atlantic, off the coast of Norway or northwest of Ireland, but they are also found in the Pacific near Australia and New Zealand. It has been known for centuries that there are corals living in deeper waters because fishermen have often found pieces of them in their nets. Until 20 years ago, however, no one had any idea of the aerial extent of cold-water coral reefs. While searching for an ideal route for a pipeline in 1982, workers for the Norwegian energy company Statoil discovered large populations of the cold-water coral Ophelia pertusa. The underwater photographs caused a sensation at the time. 3.15 greater than cold-water corals occur worldwide. They can even flourish at depths of 2,000 meters. 3.15 greater than cold-water corals occur worldwide. They can even flourish at depths of 2,000 meters. Copyright Roberts et al. 2006. Today it is known that the Norwegian coral reef has an area of around 2,000 square kilometers and, in terms of size, exceeds even the warm-water coral reefs in the diving grounds of the Seychelles. A great number of rare and even unique species live on the Norwegian coral reef. Furthermore, these reefs serve as a nursery ground for fish, providing an effective retreat and protection area for the offspring. The term cold-water coral does not refer to a particular species. It includes around 1,000 species that thrive in cold water at temperatures between 4 and 12 degrees Celsius. Many of them occur in the mesopelagic zone between 200 and 400 meters of water depth. Some species, such as the Antarctic deep-sea coral Flabellum impendium, can live at depths down to 2,000 meters, at a water temperature of around 1 degree Celsius. Reefs. Reefs are narrow, elongated elevations on the sea floor. Coral reefs are composed of the carbonate skeletons of corals, which have built up to form reefs several meters high over thousands of years. Mussels can also build reefs. In addition, there are reef-like sandbanks and rocky reefs.